Huh. Drawing? Who's she? I'm tired. Let's not mince words here. I'd be sleepy. That's the important thing. That's for sure. But you know, we're gonna do some we're gonna work on some comic stuff. See how much I can get done of this tonight. I don't. Maybe I put out a different thing tomorrow. I do need to get back to making Wild Bros. I was talking so much about maybe making them a book, like kind of like a short story kid series, but honestly, as I was doing that, I was like, oh, this is boring. It wasn't even like, oh, the art isn't as good now. I was bored, so I was just like, you know, maybe I shouldn't be holding myself to perfectionist standards. Mayhaps it would simply be better for me to keep doing what I was doing, what I was having fun with, and go from there. So that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, hope everyone's been having a good time. Also, if you don't know, if you weren't seeing Yui's stuff after we were done last night, I do have to do more Sonic 06, so I'm sure that'll be good. I'm thinking we can play the 2D Sonics first, and then from there go to Sonic 06 and other 3D Sonics. Like I said, get a baseline for the worst it can be, and then work our way up from it. Really appreciate. And it's like, no, there are better ones. Always remember that it wasn't always this way. But yeah, how about we draw? Drawer? You're a great drawer. Drawing. Oh man. Yeah. You know, I as much as I try not to be like, oh, everything has to be perfect, I cannot deny that, you know, I'm trying to make things better all the time. Looking at what I've done in the past, do better than that. To, I would say, maybe my detriment at times. But definitely if not my detriment, my slowerness. Because, so I didn't even plug in my tablet. I'm such a buffoon. I want to play more Marvel Rivals with friends. That's one thing. Before you're just like, haven't you played enough Marvel Rivals? Maybe yes, but also haven't played any today with friends. So I argue it doesn't count. So it's a good game. As someone who did play Overwatch in its golden years, I would say that what's it called? That Marvel Rivals still manages to not only beat it out in the current day, but also, honestly, I'd argue it's probably more fun than Overwatch was in the heyday, so that's pretty cool. I've probably said that before, if not on stream, then just in general, but still. I wouldn't be able to point to you what it is exactly, but there's something there, which is neat. So, like I said, been having a good time with it. I've probably said this on stream before too, but I do wonder if there's anyone I could, like an assistant I could pay to turn my comics into vector art. That way, in case I need to scale them up and down, they are relatively the same. So that's what you use vector art for. It scales better. Well, it scales at all. You're not really supposed to scale these kinds of images at all. If we're being honest. I have no doubt me and some other artists definitely do. Trying to make things easy on ourselves, but if we're being honest, like I said, you're not supposed to. That's bad practice. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Oh my goodness. Crimble is this week. I want to do some Crimble activities, some Christmas time festivities, but I definitely haven't been exactly in the holiday mood this year. I will not hide it. I'm not all bala humba. I'm not just like, oh my goodness, Christmas. We'll see. It's finally the week of, and hopefully preparations are set. That's mostly what I was doing today. So, with that in mind, maybe this week I can just enjoy it. I do have off of work on Christmas Day, which I think should be bare minimum for just about anyone. I say that not everyone celebrates Christmas. Winter holiday of choice. I've always been I've always said I think it's cool for anyone of any creed to have, winter holiday around the same time around the end of the year, so that everyone can be joyous, be happy, have a good time to celebrate getting through another year. And I know New Year's exists, but we haven't New Year's that doesn't have the whole gift giving holly jolly thing associated with it. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that to New Year's. But it's true. So, I think so yeah. Like I said, I'll try to enjoy a week of, and I am glad I have off, but still gonna be running around and doing plans. Honestly, in terms of having a day off and enjoying just the kind of a holiday to myself, and I guess that's the thing, right? You don't really do Christmas. Most people that argue try not to do Christmas by themselves. They try to be with family. So in terms of just having a day to myself, New Year's is going to be much better because I get New Year's off. And then we'll see if I'm still at the same job long enough to have the next year off. I'm trying to do things this year, and regardless of how many of them work, if even one of them works, probably means I won't be at the same job anymore. So fingers crossed. I've been very vocal about the Dolly Parton of it all, the 9 to 5 of it all. And in the past, I've been afraid that makes me seem like a hippie, but now I don't care because I'm like, no, I do think it's kind of. And if you don't think that, that's totally fair, but I don't know. That's how I've seen things so far. Well, that's me. That is me. Heck, I mean, that was one reason. I don't know if y'all remember when we were playing Hitman, and we were on the one Bangkok. Was it Bangkok? I think it was. Yeah, Bangkok. The one Bangkok level. No, what the? Because you have the hotel that's in Thailand, and the city that's in India. It's the India one, and the guy's like, yeah, I'm already working 12 hours a day, and I'm like, fuck that. And I mean, I've seen fucking comments on different internet posts saying the same thing, but like, well, I just worked a 12-hour shift, and I'm like, oh my goodness. "12-hour shift and you're not rich as can be." That should be a crime. Criminal crime. Yeah, that's what I think. That's me. Give him a little bit. Give the lieutenant a bit of booba. Just that's a little bit, you know. He has a rib cage at least. Rib cage, give booba. That wrinkle in his sleeve rub isn't right, because he's gonna be at a sharp angle. I just want to make sure I get his characteristics at this angle decently right. You know how it is. I'll probably be doing. Oh no, let me check things real quick. Cause yeah, I'm probably doing more Hitman in the coming weeks, especially to send off the year. But not this week. Like I said, little break when we did like 3 Hitman streams in a row, kind of following Alien. This is a good time. I need to get back into Pikmin. I need to finish Pikmin 2. I've finished Pikmin 1, but like I've been saying recently, got really into like more like mission-based games. Not games devoid of story, mind you, but ones where the game is clearly separated into like, okay, this is your objective for like this part of the game or whatever. Do it. So you know, Hitman, Monster Hunter, kind of Pikmin, because in Pikmin you have a day to do stuff with your Pikmin, and you're trying to successfully accomplish it. And Hitman definitely fills those goals. I literally listed it as an example. So that's just one reason. It's a good time, at least for me. It doesn't even count. That doesn't even mention all the hard work the devs have put into it to make. I'm always the type to prefer subtitles over number, because scary number means you have to play the other games. But the other thing that makes me kind of be like, oh, PS5 says that it's like, oh, this is Hitman 3. Like, give a bit more credit to the devs. They've worked hard to make this a whole thing. Like, it includes Hitman 3, 1, 2, 3, bunch of extra modes, yada yada yada. Like, it's not just like the third Hitman game. And I know that seems a name, but again, it's my own proclivities. And as well as wanting to properly credit the developers with the monument they've built, that lead me to be like, you can't just change the title. It's really so hard. Change title, menu screen, please. But maybe that's like hard coded into the. I have the physical copy, so who knows? Maybe that's hard coded into the disc and what have you. Even though PS5 doesn't have a lot of exclusive games, I'm glad I was gifted one probably like a year ago today at this point, because Lord knows there's lots of like big games that would be hard or impossible to run on my other machines, and PS5 is perfect for that. As well as games that did have just come out for it and other next-gen consoles. You know, whether that be Xbox or just the high-level PC. Should I maybe invest in a PC at some point? Of course, obviously, duh. Everyone said that to me forever now. But simultaneously, you know, with the kinds of games I'm getting for PS5, I'd need a pretty fancy one by today's standards. And it's like, well, spend the money on that or spend the money on PS5. It's your choice. And like, PS5 works. So, like I said, I was very thankful for my family. I remember my one family member was like, "You said PS5, right?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, if it's not if it's, you know, too expensive." And he was like, "Well, I saw it on sale." So, if it's on sale, I'm getting it. And I'm like, well. They're basically like, "Listen, it's on for sale. I'm getting one for myself, and then maybe you for Christmas." And I was like, "Well." If you're doing the dang thing no matter what I say. So. Oh my goodness. A decent amount of my family have been like, "Yeah, you don't need to get me anything for Christmas." And I was like, I don't think you understand. I like gifts on Christmas. In terms of both receiving and giving them. This isn't about you or me. It's about me. I want to do gifts. You know? Like, unless you have some kind of moral objection and it's just legitimately gonna make you more upset than fucking or doing gifts. Don't say no, don't do it because I don't want you to go out of your way. That's not what it's about. I'd like to get you a gift. I'm getting you a gift. The gift is here. I mean, heck, even if you're like, well, I don't need more stuff. It's like, okay, here's like a card and a gift card. A little note saying that thank you for being chill this year. Here's some candy. I love getting candy as gifts. I don't know if anyone else has picked up on this life hack, on this hashtag life hack, hashtag viral, hashtag homemade. I'm sorry. I need to never do that kind of bit again. What was I thinking of? Candy's just great because I like. Someone's like, "I got you candy for Christmas." I'm like, "Oh, heck yeah." And then I open it up and start eating the candy. And then, you know, I do that for other people. Whether or not they want to eat it right there, irrelevant, but, you know. And then, you know, you can get them the next year candy. Because they've eaten the last batch of candy. I could say, or it went bad, but if you got them candy and they let it spoil, then you got them the wrong candy. I could just say treat as well, because maybe you have someone who's like, I don't like eating candy. Well, it's like, okay, I will still get you a delicious treat. Say it fills the same void. Accomplishes the same thing. I don't know what a Navy uniform looks like when it does this, but... You know, I really think, as much as I do like writing and describing things, one of the other kind of droll things I wasn't into as I tried writing out the Wallop Bros story was the idea of like like doing the world building, because I love the world building as I've been doing it, as I think up things and write down little notes and stuff. But when it's like, oh, if you write it out as a book, you just kind of have to pepper it in explicitly throughout the story. It's like, you know? Like, I can't make it kind of tongue-in-cheek and illustrate it with funny little comics. If it's a book, I have to say it with words. And I'm like, no, I like the funny little drawings that point things out to people. That's so much cuter. I have finished my water. I will now die of dehydration. I did. Maybe before bed tonight, because people are coming over tomorrow for pre-Christmas Christmas, which I'm sure some folks around the internet have done plenty, maybe. But I need to sign cards, and among other things. I have the gifts. I will say that is the one thing about gift giving. I feel like no matter how many people in your life you buy gifts for, you're never gonna get everyone. It's almost like a domino effect, you know? You get gifts from more people. You give them the gifts. You see another person you know, and or meet and get to know. And then all of a sudden, well, I didn't get you a gift. Like, at some point you just have to be like, okay, I can't get gifts for literally everyone. I am not the Santa Claus. So for me, it's just like you have the people you do get gifts for in some capacity. And then when you see the people that maybe you didn't get anything for this particular year, it's just an understanding. And it becomes one of those things where it's like, oh, it's just nice to see you this year. Between both of you. I do think that can be like an unspoken, unwritten rule. Of like, maybe you don't get gifts for the people who, like, you know, you don't see all the time and mostly see around Christmas, because, you know, it's just nice to see. As long as they're chill, it can just be nice to see them. Your presence is my present. Also, if you don't see them a lot, and maybe I don't mean to project. That's right. Like, geez, Cahill. Is something bothering you? I'm just thinking out loud here. But you know, if you don't see them that much as well, then it's like, would you really be able to get them the best present? Maybe a gift card and card. Maybe, yeah, sure, whatever. But at that point, again, you could just do a thing where you get like little presents for everyone who comes to your Christmas party. But what if you're not the one throwing the Christmas party? At which point, then it's just like, I got gifts for a bunch of people I know, and we're good. Like, this is what I'm saying, right? I have thought about it before in terms of like, well, who do I actually get presents for? And the answer, unfortunately, can't be everyone. Just with the nature of things. It might not even be money. It might just be because I don't know if I'm going to see them. You just keep buying someone presents, and then you miss each other each year. You just not like in a sad, just like, oh, they're not here. Just like in a, oh, we just missed each other. And then when you do see them, you have like 10 years of Christmas presents as a backlog, and it's like, well, see, what did I tell you? Inefficient. So, like I said, whatever winter holiday, and I do hope you celebrate one. Whatever winter holiday you celebrate. Hopefully you have a good time. Hopefully you have a good time with family. / found family. Because obviously, like I said, you know, people you like to see is one thing. They're a bunch of assholes. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Wouldn't lose sleep over not getting them gifts. Oh, you're on the naughty list. Because you're just a dick. General dickhead behavior. You're not getting any presents this year. Go suck a dick. Says Santa Claus. Yeah, that's right. I'm done being cheeky about it. I'm just sick of this behavior. Go get an STD in a Waffle House parking lot. That's the best thing I have to give you. You don't want it? Too bad. And guess what? I still get milk and cookies. What a wonderful time of year. Yeah, I need to. Goodness. I will say this, at the very least, hopefully with New Year's and what have you, New Year's and not Christmas plans, you know, not having to prep for Crimble, they'll have more time to do comic stuff. I feel like I wouldn't even have to worry about constantly, like, about the delays doing different creative shit would have. Like, I wouldn't have to worry about the delays that puts on the comic if I just started stockpiling them, and I really should. But would that put a delay on the comic? Oh, the catch-22 of it all. I know what a catch-22 is, but I feel like I have a hard time actually being like, you know, actually like putting it in unique situations. I tried reading that in school, but Lord, for some reason I was like, I can't. This is one of those books where I'm like, but yeah, at least in principle, in terms of the actual like phrase and what it's supposed to mean. For those who don't know, a catch-22 is like a situation where you're not gonna come out on top no matter what. Kind of. I'm doing a bad job at summarizing it because I want to get to the actual example from the book it's from, which is where there was a bunch of pilots in the military, right? And they want to stop flying missions because that shit's dangerous. But the only way you get to stop flying missions, apparently, is if you're insane. The only problem is that if you request to stop flying missions on premise of insanity, then that shows you're sane because you want to live. So then it would get denied no matter what. And thus is the catch-22. If you're actually insane, you wouldn't put the on that logic. If you're insane, you won't put the request in which case you have to keep flying missions. And if you're not insane, you put the request in, and then they know you're not insane and have to keep flying missions. So me with the comics. This is why I started explaining it, because let's put this to the test. So for me with the comics, the best way to avoid a delay would be stockpiling the comics. But stockpiling comics might cause a delay. I think that's close enough. Close enough. Also, I have said that this guy's name is Larry, right? Lieutenant Ambassador Larry. That's what I named him in my head. You gotta remember what his fucking... or like the bottom of his jacket looks like. I don't know if these things are still called a jacket. The like navy stuff. I'm pretty sure they wear an undershirt under them, and they button up. Oh my lord. I was... okay, not to complain, because my family in general, and I have helped. I'm not... to be clear, I haven't just been not around all day. But they've been getting stuff ready for a Christmas party tomorrow, right? Great. Neat. And I feel like it wasn't too bad all day, but like just before stream I was like, man, I'm tired, I want to take a nap. So I tried to do that, and then like every noise in the world happened, and granted, some of it was not my family's fault. Some of it was like fire alarms and what have you, and I don't mean in my house, like on a fire truck. So like obviously not them, but the noises haven't necessarily declined too much. So now I'm just hearing chairs move upstairs, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh sweet heavens. Even though it's not necessarily like the smoothest way to do them, I kind of like drawing curves, at least digitally, by just doing a bunch of very small straight lines. I don't know if in the field of geometry, if that's still considered a curve or not, but fuck those math nerds. Look, if I wanted to do math, I would have been a mathematician. Or an accountant. And much like writing out cartoon stories, that sounds boring. I prefer to doodle. I don't know what a bunch of straight lines coming together to make a seemingly curved shape, what that's called, but also I don't know if you can hear like yelling in the back. That was another thing that happened. Let me finish my thought first, but I don't know what a bunch of straight lines making it a seemingly curved shape is called in geometry, but it's fun to draw, so gonna do that. Anyway, I just heard someone talking. I remembered we had visitors that I wasn't expecting today. Family members that live nearby, so like, you know, it wasn't like anything too wild. But like I was online with Stealth at one point, just hanging out, because we didn't get to hang out last night. And they come in, and with my muffled ears in my earphones, to me it sounded like a fight was happening. Like I thought someone had broken into the house. I was like, what? How? What? And like my family's not especially like rowdy. It's not like they were roughhousing up there. I guess that's just what it sounded. I guess the distortion was as such to make me think a struggle was happening. And that's fun. So yeah, at that point I did have to be like, 1 second. Like, I wasn't even thinking along the lines of like, oh, I should go say hello. No, I was like, huh, is someone breaking into my house? Someone breaking into my house, and I am unaware of my family's turmoils in this time. That would be unfortunate. I keep end up having to look back at at the older comics, just be like, oh, what details did I put on this dickhead's sweater, his turtleneck. That's definitely not what these things are. Not what the naval finery is typically referred to. Going to have you'll be receiving a medal for your bravery. Make sure you wear your naval turtleneck. I was a real naval officer. Hey, streaming is fun, but like, you know, obviously, if I wanna, it's kind of stream of consciousness, right? But just sometimes my brain just goes down just rapidly before I can even open my mouth again. Goes down a rabbit hole of weirdly interconnected thoughts for no reason. I'm just like, well, this is nothing. I can't say this. One reason I'm not a professional comedian. Could you imagine doing like improv and stand up, and you just have to stand on stage for a little longer than usual as your brain quickly cycles through connected thoughts, none of which you can say because it won't be funny to anyone. So you just gotta have to keep hanging there until you land on something that maybe other people will understand. Sounds like a nightmare. More chairs moving. Yeah. I don't know if anyone out in... I don't know if a lot of people... I should say a lot... I say anyone. And like, granted, I am kind of talking about like the stream, my local stream community and friends and what have you. But I don't know how many people. Oh my lord! Oh my lord! I just feel like it wouldn't be too much to ask them to pick the chairs up, is all. Anyway, I literally put down my pen and I was waiting. I'm like, there's gonna be more. Yeah, every now and then my family was just like, oh, you were being rowdy down there while you were streaming. And I was like, well, try and be entertaining. But like, between stuff like that and football, I'm just like, this is the pot calling the kettle black. It's only the stimuli that is different. The thing causing these reactions. Regardless, I can also be disturbed when you start making loud noises. I apologize, I do it, but let's be clear, I'm not alone here. I feel like I've made it pretty clear to some folks I know that I prefer silence. So I'm sure if prompted, I'd live in a largely just like quiet environment. And, you know, sometimes. I don't know how much of this is getting picked up on mic. Hi, Paula. But yeah, you know, sometimes there's reasons to make noise. So. Yeah. Oh wait, I should do this on a different layer. Different layer. I hope you're doing well, Paula. Like I was saying before, I don't know if you have any Crimbo plans on the weekend before Crimbo, or if you even celebrate Crimbo, but I hope you're doing well. Oh my, what? That, okay. That last series of noise did just sound like someone was just like slamming something on the floor. Do I know what it could possibly be? Not at all. Again, perturbed slightly concerned, unaware. This means, oh my, well there goes the vacuum cleaner. At least I know what that one is. To a degree, like, I end up laughing about these things. Not to be like facetious, but rather because sometimes it feels like a prank being pulled on me. Where you just hear a bunch of crazy, it's like I hear a bunch of crazy noises and then vacuum. And they're just like, what? What's going on? Like I say, it's almost it almost reads like something disastrous has gone on, and now they're just cleaning up the aftermath. But in reality, I know it all comes from, you know, cleaning and preparations for Christmas stuff. Well, at least one of those is good. And I do hope that, you know, if you don't have Christmas plans, you're at least able to chill out during the holidays as the year winds down. Maybe relax a little. So. Like I said, I'm not about to be like, everyone has to do this thing. I just hope you enjoy kind of end of year times. I definitely I typically, well, this year is definitely has kind of put a damper on my spirits. Most of the times I love this time of year when we're getting done with many activities. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it here. It's like I could try and put detail on this arm, but I'm thinking I'm gonna put the speech bubble there. I need to quickly look at how I drew the soldiers in the past, because what I'd like to do is this first panel is I got him, and then there's a bunch of the soldiers down there just being like, yeah, you got him, asshole. I very roughly blocked out the soldiers. I should have actually, you know, sketched them. Sketched at least one soldier head. Oh my lord. Again with the whole thing, is that just out? I might be outside my room. If I'm being quiet, I'm not looking at mic level, so it's like, you can definitely, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that was just a big bang. So it probably sounds like I'm in a bomb shelter right now. And I'm not trying to, you know, get on my family's case about setting up for Christmas stuff. I'm just like, oh my, why, since when? You know what, let me just, alright. I cannot believe what is happening right now. Oh my goodness. I definitely vacuumed outside today. That's one part of it. I don't know. I kind of just have to let it be. Here's the thing. Chances are probably not as bad on stream as I'm thinking in my head. But who knows? I'm not watching my own stream as I'm streaming. As it may shock some viewers to find out. I'm gonna have them just like or did this be better? I think this is better. I don't know if it'll come across as just like a stern soldier expression or as an actual just like, oh, I'm sick of this guy kind of deal. But I think it works either way. It'll work for the little characters I put in here. Hi, Nikki. Cahill, more like bomb shelter. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you, Nikki? I hope you're doing well in the lead up to Crimbo. If you have any Crimbo plans. And if not, again, much like I'm cold. How are you? I'm getting by. I'm here, I'm there. I'm a bit of everything all the time. All at once. I still haven't seen that movie. Did it win Best Picture? I think it might have. I have heard it's good regardless. Best Picture isn't everything. Wizard of Oz didn't win Best Picture in 1939. And as someone who wasn't alive in 1939, I'm still upset about that. You know, granted, every time I look it up, it's like, it lost to Gone with the Wind. And I was like, okay. I've heard that's also a classic, so I guess that's okay. But I really doubt I'm about to watch Gone with the Wind and be like, better than Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is great. OG Wizard of Oz. It's a good fucking movie. So... it's also, like, whimsical. So... what was I thinking of? So, I feel like isn't like... what was I thinking of? Isn't Gone with the Wind more of like a drama? Maybe like a historical... But John, I'm gonna look this up now. Because otherwise someone's gonna be like... well, I mean, it's actually... Gone with the Wind, 1939 film. Maybe problematic or offensive. Well, then I'm definitely not gonna like it. Is it epic historical romance film? Yeah, almost certainly about to prefer the whimsy of Wizard of Oz over that, so... you know, call me childish, but I like some goofy things a bit more. Also, the fact that it was immediately just like content warning. I'm just like, well. I can put on Wizard of Oz at a party, and I imagine a lot of people will, at the very least, be like, yeah, okay. Sounds like I can't do that with the other film. Give them that Oscar, post-humorous Oscar. Is it post-humorous? Is that what happens? Is that when you, like, die, but they're like, no, you get an award? It's like, why the fuck do I care? Hey, I'm dead. But... it's posthumously, isn't it? Not post-humorously. It's probably not very funny to a lot of people. If I had to imagine. Especially not the person who's being presented the award. I'm gonna see if I can't make him a little smaller. Back here. Just because. Oh, you know, flip it out. Oh, I should turn these both to, yeah. Scale. Yeah, there we go. That's a much better size. And I would just copy and paste them to be like, look, there's 3 of them, but I should just draw the image for her. Like, I'm about to do that regardless. Also, who cares about whether or not things are vector art when it's just a sketch, you know? Things can be as crunchy as you want them if it's not the final product. If it's just a silly little doodle that you're using as a placeholder. Delicious crunchy doodles. I like my cinnamon doodles. Give me some of those. Part of a balanced breakfast. No, I am in part, which might not surprise some people who have been around for a minute now. I am in part just thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh at the moment, because as me and Stealth were hanging, we were watching more. And we got the GX, which is 2 out of 3 on the Yu-Gi-Oh watch list, ATM, and what was I just thinking of? And there were some fun episodes in there. I was having fun with it, that's for sure. Do I like it more than Duel Monsters? That's hard to say. We haven't gotten nearly as deep into it. Actually, I should look up which of the first 3 Yu-Gi-Oh series is the longest. Because I mean, Duel Monsters went on for a good few episodes. It's not necessarily a short anime. I will say. And as I've said to people since watching it, if you don't remember it, it's a pretty good top. I like the sub. I say all this, but I should specify with the subtitles, not the dub. I apologize to the admittedly really good dub voice actors. Censorship has screwed you. Censorship and rewriting it for a more kid-friendly audience. American kid-friendly audience. That's truly done you dirty. Can someone make a Japanese dub of Game of Thrones, but make it so that it fits like a PG rating? And I'm not saying that that's like what Yu-Gi-Oh is on, but it would be funny to see an originally English piece of media go the other way around for Japan for kids and just be censored to hell. I'd get a kick out of that. This is more in line with how it usually goes, but there's the 4Kids Evangelion opening, which is great. Because that was never going to happen. I don't care how popular Evangelion got. It was never going to show on a kid's channel. How many... Do you think before it was more of like a mainstream thing? How many, TV execs do you think saw a different anime and were like, well, this is an animated property starring children in it. Surely for kids, right? And then that was a... and then it's like, well... Honestly, I can't even think of, anime properties that would be inherent. I mean, is Hunter x Hunter one? I need to read Hunter x Hunter. The answer to that is I need to read Hunter x Hunter. From what I've seen, though, it does star children. That is a child. You know what? Maybe Dan to Dan. I know that's not like a classic one. That's new. But it still fits the criteria of technically the stars young folks, but that's not necessarily what the audience is meant to be. Not entirely. You should be a little older before you go off reading or watching Dan to Dan. Even though I do love it. Dan to Dan, 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 Dan to Dan to Dan. I've been saying, they'll like the manga is long enough that they'll probably change up the opening song at one point, if not in like literally the next season. But I don't know if there's really gonna be something I like more than the first opening by Creepy Nuts. I like saying dan 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 dan. It's a real good time. And so is Dan today. Oh my gosh, song with lyrics. Oh wait. I just realized. Let me put a little line under him. Because now I'm gonna do this, but for this guy, yeah. And then there we go. Yeah. Nice little buffer between them. Yeah. Speaking of, actually, speaking of like sub versus dub shit, there's in the Chainsaw Man, what was I thinking of? In the Chainsaw Man dub, at one point you have Denji saying yes, and then in recently in Dan to Dan, one of the characters just goes, "I win." I do love the dub voice actors putting their fun inflections on it. Things that might not have worked in Japanese, or if you had just literally translated it, but work very well once it is translated. Apparently, also in one of the newest episodes of Dan to Dan, they had like it. And I remember, knowing the show and stuff, you have to believe me when I say this does make sense in context. But one of the voice actors was like, "Hey, we should talk about these nuts, the meme, these nuts, in this scene." And I guess the director of the dubbed anime was like, "What are you talking about?" So then they had to go on a decently lengthy, apparently, explanation and exploration and explanation of these nuts with I guess their boss, question mark. And it did get put in the anime, so I guess it was worth it. I want to know something. Oh wait. I'm gonna try to make these guys even smaller. Even smaller. Maybe even more like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then you know what? Here's what we'll do to really sell it. Is... little angry mark. Now we're taught. Now we're taught. Now we're cooking. Now this is pod racing. I don't even... It's been so long since I've seen The Phantom Menace. I don't even remember where they say that. Qui-Gon, who I do think is a pretty cool character, at least in everything but The Phantom Menace, does kidnap a child. That's undeniable. But then again, if we're being frank, it is kind of what the Jedi do, to a degree. I do think the parents sign off on it, just be like, oh, he can be a cool Jedi. Oh, then you must take him. Please. But it is still just like, hello. Fucking 8-month-year-old. Come with us. Never know who your family is. It's kind of shitty. And again, I get it, but... Well, no. I'm not even gonna say I get it. I mean, I do, kind of, in, like, lore shit, but... Regardless, it's not like the Sith were around for most of the time they were doing that. You know? Thank you, Paula. Have a good sleep. But yeah, it's not like there was an immediate present threat that they needed to, like, draft a Jedi for. They really didn't need to... They really didn't need to be kidnapping babies. Not to get into a bunch of Star Wars lore shit, but I don't know. I feel that might be a reason why it's better not to try and like write anything after Return of the Jedi. Just because you know, we like you can just say like yeah, and then Luke did it better. But it's hard. It's decently hard to write that. So, at that point, you know, it's better just to leave it to the imagination. And sure, you know, people will make like fan fiction and everything about it, but that's still to people's imagination. Try to make this look good, but someone's giving me a real hard time here. Let's see, maybe I just need to try and make it like... Nope. Like maybe make it centered on the, just centered in the panel in general. That didn't really go too well. Does that look good? No. No. Okay, I think... Yeah, definitely, the solution lies somewhere in here. In the crevices of his neck. Honestly, that looks... That might, like... Yeah, that might be as good as it gets. Oh, wait. We'll just label this a separate thing. Everyone loves it when I just work in the, the, what's it called? In CSP's fucking layer shit. No art. Only layer organization. Honestly, does it just look... It might just look better like this. I mean, it'd be great if I didn't have to waste time with this. Let me try one little trick. What if we just had some hatching? You know, some good old hatching. I also like the process of doing this a lot. It can be satisfying, and what with like the doubling effect and everything. Makes it easier as you go along. Shutter shades. I definitely learned that from the Lythero video. I don't know what those things are called. Is that... I mean, I guess all sunglasses are meant to be like a fashion accessory, right? But shutter shades have no practical effect, right? I'm not missing out on something here. Just for fashion? What with like the solid bands of fucking plastic? Because I imagine visibility isn't good no matter what. But... I cannot... Oh, well, that's probably one reason I can't see. Oh. There we go. Clean up your... Get those mashed potatoes off your face. Y'all... Okay. Y'all have seen Christmas Story, right? I'm sure no matter whether or not you celebrate Christmas, you've probably seen Christmas Story. You know how he talks about his brother towards the beginning of the film and how he's like a picky eater and shit? For the longest time when I watched that film, to me the narrator made it sound like the brother hadn't eaten anything in like literal years, when that is not the case, because that child is alive. The point he's more making is that like he hasn't eaten like a dinner, like a good piece of food, some turkey and mashed potatoes in forever, basically. He's always just kind of being like, no, I don't want it. Okay. Expand 4. Let me try this. Ah, I didn't want... That's always the problem with this. I tried to do this thing where I'm outlining the characters, but then it's like... It includes the border, And there's definitely ways to fix that, but I'm just a dumbass. Always for it to not include the border, but again, I'm just stupid. My thinking with this is that whereas, you know, typically you'd use impact lines for something triumphant or exciting, doing this like hatching will, one, still communicate stuff in the background, given that they're in the jungle, but also two, make it emphasize the soldiers being just like, this guy's what a piece of work. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I've just realized this. He's got a stain on his bib. No, yeah. Big circle. Maybe we make it like... Nope, that's too big. 600 might be it. Do I like how that looks? I kind of do. Yeah, I might go with that. Does no one care? Okay, good. Am I the only one agonizing over this? Great. Sick. Neato. Yes. Ooh. Listen, yeah. Sometimes that's being an artist, you know? And then every artist in the room says, no, it isn't. So hi, me. Like, just like, oh, Lord, I didn't mean to unmute my preview. Oh, you're good, me. Yeah. No, you. We're gonna have like little debris and shitums. Just emphasize frustration hanging in the air. I appreciate that, meat. I'm gonna be. I hope this sounds sincere and nice as I mean it, but sometimes it's nicer to hear from you, me, someone who I don't know quite as well, that you like my comics, just because, you know. Then it's not like me showing it to my mom and she's like, "This is going right on the fridge." There's a bit less bias there, and I appreciate it. I want Danny DeVito to walk up to my comics in a wig and say, "Now this is art," and the museum curator says, that's a humidifier. Aw, thank you. Like I said, to me that means more than I could express. Again, I appreciate it. Now back into your home. No, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure, and this is to a degree how I feel whenever I see like news stories about celebrities being like, honestly, just kind of pricks. I'm pretty sure Stanley at one point in an interview said it's like, yeah, I like my fans. They pay my they pay my rent. I like and be nice to the people who like my work because they pay for everything. I'm not gonna be rude. I'm not gonna be a prick about it. I don't know if I'm misquoting him there or misattributing that, but I do appreciate that way of thinking of just like, yeah, they they enjoy the media I create. Of course I like them. There's been a few times I've seen like online creators, and like to a degree I get it because the internet can be just shitty, but they talk about the thing they've made and they're just like, yeah, can't wait to see people react to this. And I'm just like, do you want to keep doing this? I can get not wanting to go apply to a 9 to 5, but I don't know. Maybe there's something else you could find to do because yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying, meat. That's what I'm never when like they're yeah. There is definitely the like there has been a certain celebrity who's made headlines in the current year, who I won't name in case stuff goes bad there. So in case they're not as cool as maybe I suspect, and then I have to quickly backtrack this, but they've had outbursts. People are just like, how could they? I'm like, no, that's a normal human reaction to the things occurring to them. That's a person reaction to someone getting all up in your grill, if I might be so bold. So with that in mind, like, it is not a sweeping statement of celebrity rude to someone. Oh, how could they? Don't they know they fan? No, not at all. Just thinking of. I would just say, as an approach to how you treat other people. Oh, let me talk about this on camera real quick. On stream, if you will. Because I was literally about to be like Jake Paul, because there are some people who get famous and they're just like, oh, I'm better than you. Super iPad Wolf put out a video about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. And if you're just like, well, I don't want to hear about that, I was the same way. But the reason I'm talking about it is because maybe give it a chance, because it is more than like some kind of drama report. It is more so a really cool breakdown of boxing as a sport and boxing statistics. Because I think with that fight, internet creature Jake Paul's boxing record is like 9-1 or something like that. And Mr. iPad, Dearest iPad Wolf, they came out as non-binary. Like they go over like the different opponents he has personally chosen to box each time, and why it's just like, hey, maybe it's all a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, that's really cool. Also, something I didn't even think about whenever I saw stuff about that, because I don't think about that man a lot, if at all. But it's like, You know what he does have millions of dollars from dumb YouTube shit, and he definitely uses that to put the events on, as opposed to, you know, actually competing in boxing. Like, yeah, he might be decently good at boxing, but do you know what he doesn't? You know what he isn't? An athlete. He doesn't compete in a league. He probably wouldn't win. And honestly, if he started to, if he competed in a league and started to win, I would suspect roids. I think a lot of modern day athletes probably take some shit like that. He'd be no exception. On several. Yeah, exactly. That's an amazing way to put it, me. It's not about actually being good, it's about having the money to get a camera out there and someone to be a quote-unquote official. To be like, you're the best! And you're like, I am? So, enough talking about that. I just wanted to talk about that video. Because I thought, well, you know, I like to support the YouTubers I like, so I was like, I'll give it a chance. And, you know, I was like, I don't think I'll like that. But then, again, like I said, it was a pretty cool breakdown of boxing records, the difference between boxing and MMA, which is vitally important. Oh, thanks, Meat. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not stressing about it too much. I wanted to have this out by tomorrow, but that's not happening. That's Christmas. I might have a Alex thing out tomorrow. If I can just get the... I don't have a scanner. Can rich patron who doesn't exist give me money for scanner, please? Because I'm probably just gonna have to take a... Because I started doing the art for the book on you know, on pen and paper, and I like that, and that's one reason I was like, maybe Wallet Brothers as book, but then, like I said, that was boring. So maybe instead of having this out tomorrow, put out little Alex thing, and then week after, back to Wallet Bros. I don't regret being just like, hey, maybe a little hiatus on comic for a minute. There's this other comic artist I follow named Nortuit. I believe that's the name. I hope I don't start regretting. I always say this. I hope I don't start regretting the online people I name and they become assholes. But like, they've talked before. They put out a decently popular comic, and what was I thinking of? Like, they've talked before about just like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can keep up like this. I'm like, yeah. So I don't regret being just like, hey, maybe a little break right now, as I figure things out, both for Christmas and for and just for workflow. Yeah. Well, so this is the thing, right? One of the other things I was thinking about was presenting these comics in published format, and I think I figured out a different way to do that with how they exist now. So that was another hurdle climbed. And then also, when I was really thinking about books shit, I was dog sitting. And I didn't bring like a million things with me, including my drawing tablet. So I was just like, I'm not running back home just to grab my drawing tablet. So I'm just like, no, it was right and proper at the time, but I'm just gonna keep going with this. Goodness knows, well, Meat might be one of maybe 3 people who actually reads this comic. It's still one of the most consistent things I've ever done. And I do like it. So, honestly, as long as I still believe that this is probably the best way to present my dearest pirate boys, I'm not about to go changing. I refuse. That's it. I'm done learning life lessons. I refuse to change from here on out.
Oh, but wait, this isn't a cereal. This is a comic. If you poured milk on the comic, it would get wet, and then you would be able to read the comic anymore. I don't think you would have.
You know what I need to get? This is a weird thought associated with what Meat just said. I need to get a DVD player. I have people ask me, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, honestly, movies. Like, movies and maybe some TV show box sets. I'm done trusting digital media. And I have a VHS player, which I'm glad, but I need a DVD Blu-ray player. There's probably one lying around the house somewhere. So I should probably track that down before buying one, but still. Because I was just see, this is what I was talking about. I can't just say, I can't speak the thoughts as like a natural flow. Because here's what happened in between what Meat said and me saying I need a DVD player. Is I thought about the fact that these are largely based off like the Mickey Mouse comics of olden times. And then I thought about how I should track down some of the Donald Duck comics, because I know he had more of like a serialized comic adventure run, what with like DuckTales and stuff. And then I thought about how I have a bunch of Mickey Mouse cartoons on DVD. And then I thought about how it's like, oh, I need a DVD player. And fucking like that all happened too fast for me to articulate it. And furthermore, and just I just seem crazy or dumb, or both. Crazy dumb. You can be crazy and smart, or sane and stupid. But you can also be crazy dumb, or you're just not that. That's a lot of people. If we're being wildly honest at this point in time, most people, most people. Heck, maybe you're seeing some of them for Christmas. Oh my lord! I was talking to someone today, and they were saying they kicked their mom out of their house because she thought a recent solar eclipse was a government hoax. And they said, well, we're done talking now. And I was like, yeah. And you want to know something? They were talking to my mom as like they were saying this, like it was my family and them. My mom was right there. They said that, and I said I would do the same thing. And she said, well, I'm not like that. And I'm like, I know you're not. But if you were, I'd kick you out of my house and be like, okay. My mom is pretty dang smart, if I do say so myself. Definitely, like, I mean, she's online and she doesn't send me conspiracy theory shit, so. She does send me, like, make sure you don't get kidnapped, like a lot. Like, just a lot of, hey, please do not get kidnapped. You'd be surprised how many different posts on social media people can make about not getting kidnapped. Trust me, I've seen a lot of them. So, but it's not conspiracy theory stuff, so that part's good. That part we can all be happy about. Don't need more conspiracy nuts in the house. I was thinking about this. I feel like sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, oh, this sounds conspiracy. Because I feel like usually when I talk about things, I'm like, well, they all do this. And you know, it's that it's use of stuff like they and like they're doing this. But I feel like typically what I'm trying to articulate is that some people in different situations have a really similar way of thinking, and thus, you know, they all do something without it necessarily having been pre-planned or what have you. Oh my goodness. So but I always make sure not to. I try to check myself. Be like,
So I falling for conspiracy theory right now? This man on Facebook told me that the Earth is actually cubular. And now I haven't seen Earth from afar before, but I'm pretty sure it's not cubular.
I used to get really mad when people would believe like the lunar landing shit, and then because I was like, oh, you're like setting us back as a society. If we constantly have to reprove that we've landed on the moon before, we're never gonna do anything. And then it got worse. And then more things happened. So maybe I should have fought harder on that. Maybe I should have picked my battles. Who's to say? Who's to really say? Also, hi, Rico. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I will say this. Especially during Christmas time. You choose your battles. You make sure. Chase your peace, folks. Like, there's time to take action, and there's time to just be like, I don't need to be killing this right now. It's Crimble. I have not, but I feel like one reason this is coming up is because there's been a lot of news recently about flat earthers being just like taken to school. Quite literally taken to school. No. I think there was some like another one of their dumb experiments recently where it was like, hey, check this out. The Earth is round. Also, not to be rude to me, and maybe this is actually the video you're talking about, and if it is, please let me know. Fucking nothing is ever going to beat that one video where a bunch of flat earthers will be like, well, we're gonna use this laser, and as long as we can see the laser here, then the Earth is flat. And if we can see it from that other height, then the Earth is round. And then they prove the Earth is round on it. They say, interesting. That's probably the greatest video about flat Earth. That's the only video about flat Earthers anyone needs to see. No, yes, the floor is moving. Just because they're basically just doing. That's what I mean when I'm like, oh, this shit sets us back. The experiment they do is literally something the ancient Egyptians did with obelisks. Obelisk Koshinhe. But it is literally just like, since the Earth curves at great enough distances, you can observe that. And they did that, expecting it not to be the case, and then it was the case, and then they're like, well. So, you know. I do know there's and it's usually when people use like a map of flat Earth, it's this map. There's a fiction website. I don't know if it's good or run by good people. I know there is a fiction website that uses like basically like flat Earth as its setting. And it's really funny how many people can't tell the difference between that and the conspiracy theory, because they might as well just be one and the same. So, that part's great. Flat Earther is just like, there's an ice wall, and they're like, yeah, Narnia's behind it. And he's like, no, that part's not real. See you around, meat. I hope you have a good night. Yeah. I might have to take a picture. I might have to put out the, Yeah, absolutely. Same to you. Yeah, if I don't get this done tonight, which I might not, then probably just put out some Alex stuff tomorrow. And, just to put something out, you know? It's not always about, you know, just making stuff for the internet machine. But still, try to do something. How does this look? This looks okay. Okay. I'm like, is this fun? Is this too funky? No. We got it. We got it. I know how to do the Running Man. I definitely know how to dance. That's for sure. It's not something I'm wildly self-conscious about and wouldn't be caught doing in public. I know that much. I don't know how to dance. I don't. I just don't. Let me not lie to chat. Chat, do you promise to keep a secret? Don't tell anyone, okay? A secret between me and a couple hundred people online. Not necessarily that I get those kinds of views, but I feel like if you put anything online, it is inevitable that over infinity, a couple hundred people see it, you know? That's just how the internet works. They might not interact with it, they might not give you a sign that they've seen it, but they saw it. Your dirty little secret. I'll make you my dirty little secret, dirty little secret. And there's something, keep it. I forgot how that song goes. Time to look it up. Not on stream though, I'll get fucking copy strike. They'll be like, how dare you? How dare you play the song how dare you play this song for free, which we're definitely still paying the artist royalties on it. They're not doing that at all. Not to be a conspiracy nut, but I don't think any musical artist gets royalties anymore. I really fucking doubt it. I think the only person who really gets any royalties is like the cast of Seinfeld. Because that's what made Seinfeld like a thing. At least. Or at least what made like the rest of Jerry, like any... what made it so that he could basically just retire. They got lucrative deals. I hope this reads right as like him. Looks okay so far. You know what I might have to do? I might just have to bring most of his torso down. It might be too stretched out on this. There is squash and stretch. Oh my lord, I could not say that for my life. But that still only goes so far, you know. Oh, beans, wrong. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong layer. Gotta go, gotta get the job done, gotta start a new nation, gotta meet my son, get the bullets out your guns, what the bullets out your guns, we move undercover and we move as run, that's jumping, Alexander Hamilton. That's how I remember it going. Yeah, I saw Hamilton 5 times on Broadway. Know every lyric. Alexander Hamilton. My favorite musical. Can't you tell? Alexander, what's his name? My name is Alexander, what's his name? I'm on the $5 bill, I think. Yeah, that's right. Wait, no, that's Lincoln. Hamilton, written by child who didn't do the report. Alexander Hamilton. I think his name was Alexander Hamilton. And he he did things in the Civil War. Yeah, that one. That war specifically. Lord, as I'm drawing this, I just remembered that I saw a clip recently reminding me that, not only reminding me that the Lion King world exists in Kingdom Hearts 2, but also that something I definitely forgot was that Pete goes there, and at one point he, and like you see him as a lion. Oh. Yeah, that's weird. And I feel like one of the things that makes it weird is like it could kind of work maybe, but no matter how you did it, it was always going to look a little uncanny for multiple reasons. But he is, on paper at least, Pete is meant to be a cat, and as such, it shouldn't be too hard to make him into a lion, a chubby lion. Except for the fact that most people don't realize Pete is meant to be a cat. I definitely think part of it is that he was only kind of cat-esque in his initial appearances, because the more important element they played up was that he was just like triple Mickey's size, you know? And then as they like updated designs over time, etc., etc., he kind of lost more of the cat part, while in favor of retaining just being fucking huge. But it's not like Disney's the only one guilty of that. Sega. Blaze can be a cat, sure, that works. Big, I just occurred to me that both Blaze and Big are purple. I don't know if that's on purpose. You think they designed Blaze, who unfortunately did in fact come after Big, And they were just like, well, what elements can we keep from Big? They were like, not a lie. Obviously, she can be purple. Same ears, kind of, and purple, maybe. Different shade, but we could probably do purple again. Not a cat color. Not colors that cats typically are. But we made our bed with that. We made our bed when Sonic was blue. So why not? Our cats are purple. Sonic's fun. I should see Sonic 3 at some point. Maybe next. I don't know. I should text Deja, see if they want to go next week or something. Do they care about Sonic? Not at all. If anything, Deja would probably pay me to talk about Sonic less. But you know what? Well, let's do it. Let's do it live on stream. Deja, would you wanna see Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie next weekend? Question mark. Let us see how my best friend responds. If you need enticing, they kill a kid in it. Send. Either one. Either one. A Saturday or Sunday. Also, I'm literally live texting this on stream. It was so important. Deja says hi, chat. There's no one in chat. Exaggeration. I know there's people in chat. I am alone. I'm scared. Send help. I forget. It was a thing in... I feel like someone put out a post about like, okay, we're not actually all going to scream when they kill Maria in the Sonic movie. We have to understand. To be so clear, don't be a dick at the movie theaters. I think I saw that they put out like a PSA in the Sonic movie itself, being like, hey, don't yell during the movie. Not necessarily specifically talking about that scene, but just in general. You know, one of those things they do before movies, talking about movie politeness. Don't text during the movie. We come to this place to cry. Deja did legitimately respond to the question, and that I stopped live stopped live tweeting that part. Okay, I must be done texting on stream. I'm sorry. I like I like it when I get to see my friend. Also, I feel like the hat might be one of the things that I need to adjust in this image. That hat is way too tiny. He needs a big captain's hat.
He needs a big boy's hat.
I do not regret doing that on stream. There's some times where I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't a good stream thing. That wasn't a good stream bit. That was not one of them. Live, texting my friend live on stream about seeing Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters. That's a good bit. I don't care who you are. The last movie we saw together was Wicked, and that was a masterpiece. So we'll see how Sonic stacks up. I might look at my friend. I might look at Deja once we're done and be like, Wicked again? It gets real good. If you haven't seen it, go see it. That was one of the reasons I was like, Wizard of Oz! Honestly, I think it was clear from interviews and the film itself that a lot of people working on it had a big passion for the project, and that is only reinforced by just the amount of practical work on it. The amount of that movie that's just real stuff they had, including like entire cities and buildings that they made for the film, only enhanced the film. And like, what was I thinking of? You know, I mean, musical, like, theater numbers are typically, like, they're usually, like, they don't go crazy with the amount of locations in the film, not the film, in the stage play. Because, you know, to a degree you have to sell your audience that you're there. And if you keep changing location without, like, scenery, then it, to a degree, is just like, and I would say Wicked's one of them. It's been a while since I saw the stage play, but at the very least in the first act, which is what the movie's adapting, yeah, it only takes place in a few locations, and making those locations real physical sets for the movie, I think only help. You know, like, they didn't cheap out on it. They didn't say, no, we can just do a green screen. They were like, nope, this movie takes place in, like, this specific, you know, this specific story takes place in all of 2 to 3 locations. We are going to build to 2 to 3 locations in their entirety to make sure make sure it's done proper. That's not right. I might just try and draw his hand as a ball. 'Cause I was just thinking about like thumb placement and stuff, but when it's that far back, it's like his hand needs to be a bigger ball. A bigger ball. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. Movies are fun. I am glad that we're not, that, you know, theaters aren't necessarily the only place to watch them anymore. I'm not glad that fucking tickets can be so fucking expensive. But, like, people should be allowed to be like, I want to watch this on streaming, or I want to pay to go to a theater and watch it. Because I would definitely agree there's benefits to the, like, theater experience and stuff. But, you know, that being the only place you can watch a new movie, for a while it made sense, because there wasn't a way to get a new movie to everyone all at once, but now there is. So... And also, you don't need like 20 movie theaters in your town. Have one nice one that is, comparative to now, inexpensive. And now we're talking. Honestly, he kind of looks goofy. He does kind of look like Goofy because he's a dog. But he kind of looks like the adjective Goofy. Running like this, but it's also kind of the point. I missed King Dice. I never play nice. I'm the devil's right hand man. I can't let you pass. It ain't done everything. Bring me those contracts, pronto, bring them to the king. Don't mess with King Dice. Don't mess with me. I feel like no matter which way I bring this pen, that it always has like the thin end on the place I don't want it, which is wild. I need to replay Cuphead at some point, but does anyone else realize that, like, start of the game, Cuphead and Mugman get into trouble with the devil, right? He's like, well, I do have one just kind of general, you know, chore I need done. And I guess if y'all don't want to pay up your debt, you can do this. And they're like, okay, we'll do that. And then, terrified for their lives, they go run to the Elder Kettle, essentially their papa, thinking, well, he's smart, he'll know what to do. And then the Elder Kettle's response is to kill the just get strong enough to kill the devil. He's like his one word of advice is to just do it, and then when you meet the devil, kill him. Like that's basically the only guidance he gives the guys. I realized that at one point. I was like, wait a minute, there's not a plan. This isn't a plan. We don't have a way to out. He's just saying beat him. His sage advice is just like, well, if we can just mess him up, then problem solved. Also, I do like that Cuphead kind of has two endings. One of them's kind of a fake ending, but I mean, one, it's good that there's no debate over which is like canon, I guess. And then two, I don't know. It's just cool to have the choice and have something happen because of it. That's game design, baby. So I'm gonna raid someone if it's alright with y'all. You know, just got up. Oopsie. Don't look at my browser. Don't do that. You know, I'm not spending 4 hours getting the comic done, but you know, taking it easy as we get up to the holidays. I hope you'll forgive me. What was I thinking of? How about... Oh, yep, Yui's live. let us raid Yui. I promised I would do so. That's what we should be doing. Make sure you also support the charity. And yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. We're going to be working on some Xenoblade art as opposed to as opposed to some personal art, some comic art. So I hope you'll join me. But yep, I will see everyone around. Bye.